everybody. The big idea for today is if you have a math problem that you don't know how to solve, such as tangent x is 4/5, can you find some other trig function of x? A great strategy is to create some concrete scenario, some concrete situation, or you might call it a model. Create a specific model which describes, which the math describes. And then you're going to use that model to think about new things or to derive new results. And this general strategy is useful not just for this admittedly somewhat arbitrary problem, but you'll see it's really useful for proving things in the next couple of classes. So take a minute and try and decide, can you sketch a scenario for which it's true that tangent of x equals 4/5? Like, what's a situation that math fact describes? Give it a try. Hopefully you thought something along the lines of this. You thought, okay, well, I know tangent is a side length ratio that's the opposite over the adjacent side of a right triangle. So let's sketch a little right triangle. If I know tangent x equals 4/5, I could label this 4, this 5, and this angle x. And so now I have a specific situation which this math fact is describing. Okay, so now you can ask, what else can I find out about this situation? Well, pretty clearly, I could find the hypotenuse. So 5 squared plus 4 squared square root. So 25 plus 16. I guess let's make that root 41. Okay. And so now that I have this fact, if we want to know, could I find, for example, cosecant x? Let's see, cosecant x is 1 over sine x. What's sine x? Sine x is just going to be opposite over hypotenuse. So this is 1 over 4 over root 41. And that's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal, so that would be root 41 over 4. So what initially seemed like perhaps a quite difficult problem is actually very, very simple if you create a little model to help yourself think. Why don't you try one more yourself? What if we know that cosine theta is 2/5? Could you find what tangent theta is? If you're doing this at home, pause the video, think for a second. All right, let's make ourselves a little model. Right triangle, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, so let's do 2 over 5. So this one now we can solve for. Let's just call this, I guess we'll call this x, so this is theta. So what I know is that 2 squared plus x squared equals 5 squared. So x squared is 25 minus 4 is 21. So x is root 21. So now that I have that, let's see, tan theta is going to be sine theta over cosine theta. Or, I guess we don't have to write it that way, we could just literally have it be opposite over adjacent. So that's going to be root 21 over 2. Okay, let's just look at one more scenario real quick. What if I told you that cosine theta equals... No, let's not do that one. Let's do, what if tangent theta equals 5? Don't feel like you can't create a model for where this is true, just because you don't have two different side lengths. You do have two different side lengths. 5 you could write as 5 over 1, for example, and that would work out just fine.